Welcome to Tarot Q&A Tuesday. I'm super excited today because I've had a whirlwind week of my own. I'm moving house. I'm moving to Raglan. I'm going to live in this cute as a button little tiny home. It's actually not rural. It's sort of elevated in the city, or city if you call the little village of Raglan a city. It's in the township. And I have beautiful views of the sea. I've got a little room that I can work out of and do my tarot and my consulting. I am pumped, yes, practicing what I preach and unfolding beautiful manifestations along the way. That's my news. Let's see what your news is. We're going to begin with Renee's card because she was first in of the day and she's turned up here too. Let's get into that. Renee, talking about business stuff. Shall I go with Kat and Matt to take care of my business accounts, bookkeeping, etc.? Or should I go with Jill? Two different businesses, two different options, obviously two different vibes. So we want to get into Renee's vibe first to see, first of all, one of these options does feel good, so that's a positive. Renee, we are going to get a question. We're just going to get a card pull for either option and see which one has the better vibe energy. Okay. Renee, accounts, ideal person. Is there one of these people that could be good for Renee? Oh. Sorry, is there someone else? Just to add complications?
Yes, I've just added another option.
Oh.
Orange.
Okay, yes, that's the one. Sorry, I didn't see that until now. Yeah. I was like, how could there be the vibe of something we've just got? And then they say no for both. And as you've just explained, that would be, yeah, I go with the Clockwork Orange accountant. That's my answer for you there. Thanks for your question, Renee. All right, Brenda, since you were lucky last, so we get the first person in and the last person in, but you have turned up, so it's good to see your name, since I can't see your face, and your question. Brenda wants clarity about what's for her highest good. She is so over being a doormat. A doormat to, I've got a feeling I know what this is about, but let's just pull a card that has a message that will help you to unravel what needs to be unraveled to create new energy. What's the message for Brenda today? Brenda. Is this the card for Brenda? My name is Brenda. The card, Brenda. Okay. We have the Emperor. Oh, nice to see your beautiful face.
Sorry, just trying to organise myself because the sun is so bright here.
Yes.
I need to plug my computer in. The Emperor.
The Emperor. So in general, the Emperor is actually about structure, getting routine, being very logic about things, as opposed to the more intuitive feeling femininity. It's a real masculine card. So we want to know, are you meant to be moving into this space more, or are you going to meet this man? Let's get a feeling for that. I'm sensing a bit of both, actually. Yeah, so really getting more assertive about how this unfolds. What I've got here is also the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, which is indicating the start of a new passion, but it will be slow. So it's a plodding along kind of process. This isn't really directly answering your question, so we're just going to get a little bit more clarity of the overall best message for your highest good. Yeah, this is, okay, now I've got the Six of Pentacles. So this is actually about being a more of a give and take, like where you can receive and give in a dynamic that is of equal enjoyment and balance, so don't be the overgiver, be the receiver as well. Therefore, is this a message? yeah, somehow you need to get balance between what you do for others and how you receive that back. So being more of a, how does this work? This is a tricky one to unravel. Thank you very much, Brenda. It's around an 8 energy, like that personal power. So rather than being very, I don't normally say get out of your feminine energy, but it is about being more on that and being more empowered and really coming into that core strength, that inner vitality and knowing your worth. Like just coming into being, it's almost like that emperor energy, the king kind of energy. It's not the king strictly, but it is. Wow, Brenda. Taking the bull by the horns, really being that the Emperor is quite the Aries masculine energy. It's about going out and sort of getting more of what you want. I feel like I can feel like holding on to the ram horns and just really becoming the director of how this is going to happen. So there needs to be some sort of practical steps in place. This is not just all about merging. Now I've got a question here. Her question is, should she go with the, oh, okay. Sorry, different question. Brenda, are you feeling into what I'm saying here? Does this make sense? It's kind of not so going with the flow, but instead being more structured, which is often, it's usually the opposite, I say. So does that mean actually creating some structure? Does that mean actually?
Yeah, probably. I mean, probably I've been too expecting people to know how to act instead of telling them how to act. If that makes sense. Like, this is what our standards are, and you meet those standards, and you don't try and be a bully.
Yeah, it's about that being the strength of what you want in the relationship. This feels relationship wise. That's why I keep talking about it like it's a relationship.
Yeah, well, it's business relationship. It's not.
Okay. Well, it feels like a bit of both actually, because there needs to be an answer to what is good for your highest good now. I feel like there actually needs to be a lot of structure in general in your days.
Yeah.
So it's kind of allocating time for what you want to happen in those days rather than just landing with whatever comes your way. So that sounds like an unusual thing but that would imply that you're going to consider all areas of your life, like from health to relationship to work to money to home to creativity to spirituality, and actually compartmentalize how you can have more of that so you have more balance and you can fit in and receive a give and take of life. So that might look like actually activating relationships where you are receiving as well as having the energy then to give to others, because there's this real need to have two-way street, and without making a plan about what you want to do, you just end up being lackadaisical and with it, whatever happens.
Or reactive. Yeah.
Or reactive. Or that's another layer to it really as well, because first of all, it's actually getting clear on what it is that you want. This actually feels both relationship and business. It's about really just become logical rather than, and I feel weird saying this because I'm always like, just feel into your heart and know what to do. In this case, it's like, no, decide what you want and put a plan in place that you can create a different day-to-day reality, which will then change your enthusiasm for life and attract different circumstance, not just men, but more so business ideas and relationships and with business scenarios. It is a complex one to unwrap today because it feels like there's actually a lot going on for you that could be, but yet not a lot actually sort of happening. Does it make sense? I feel it all because
yeah, no, that makes sense. There's lots of potential.
Yes.
If I get clarity about what I want, then I can go and get it. But at the moment, I don't have a good level of clarity about certain things.
Yeah, so let's go back to the original. What does your higher self need to hear? You need structure. You need to come into your masculine energy and not demand what you want, but really make it obvious that you are an equal partner in whatever the partnership is. Relationship, work, business, even clientele. So it's really just, yeah, it's kind of like putting your T's and C's on the line for all of those avenues, love, business, otherwise, and just normally, not aggressively, just kind of like I am worthy of this kind of life, or and respect. So you coming into that's it's a lot, but it's actually quite transformative as well, which I think is unraveling maybe faster than you think.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. All right, I'll get into some other questions. We have Leah. I'm ready to meet a new man. Well, we've got some energy going here. Do I need to do anything particular? Leah, do I need to do anything particular to get ready to meet Mr. Right or Mr. Meantime or whoever he may be? Leah, is this the card for Leah? What does she need to hear about finding a new man? Queen of Cups. This actually is about, she's the Queen of Love. So she's actually very emotionally available as well, in her good form. So this is about getting really clear on owning your feelings about things in life. When you can learn to express your feelings about how you are and what you need and what your triggers are, and just be the queen of your emotions, you could say, you can ultimately set yourself up for a nicer dynamic when it comes to meeting a new partner. So the work you need to do in order to attract the right man is to start practicing expressing your emotions and genuine feelings with other people. This could be anything from work to friends to family, meaning when you can articulate your needs in an empowering kind of way, not in a victim way, but just owning your feelings and owning your needs, then you can move into a relationship where you are seen for your truth and you are receiving what you need on a relationship level, what sort of nurturing you want, how you want to receive the love. Until you can really express your own frustrations in a way that you own your feelings and get your point across to those in your life, you won't meet the match of the person who is willing to see you at that level. Whoo! Why don't we just get some big questions today? So practice what to do to get ready for your man, the one. Practice with your friends, family, and clients being self-respectful and being vulnerable, being able to express your genuine feelings without, like, from a queendom perspective. This is the Queen of Cups. She is in her personal emotional power. That does, for some people, require doing inner child work. Maybe it's just simply testing the waters with people you know. How can I express how I truly feel about this circumstance that has upset me or that has excited me in a way that I am owning my worth and my own feelings? I do hope that makes sense. You can always text me later to ask for more clarity, but that is the message of how to prepare for your new man. In fact, it's a great skill for all of us to practice, because we need to be able to be in authentic relationships where we can be 100% ourselves and that be okay, no matter what sort of day you're having. I do see a lot of people don't feel accepted to be who they truly are on when they have a bad day. It's not okay, and we get taught to have to be perfect all the time. It's not about being perfect, but it is about learning to communicate from an ownership position, not a blame position. So knowing that we can express ourselves just because we're a human having an experience, not having to make it a story or a reason or a wrong or a right for someone else. There you go, Leah. Now we're going to talk about Caitlin. She has asked, is her dream of owning a house going to happen soon? What does soon mean, Caitlin, though? What is soon? We'll just tap into Caitlin's energy. Soon in this case, let's just say, is this going to happen within maybe a 6-month period? Is this the case? Yeah, I actually feel like that time frame would be quite realistic. Yeah, I feel it is possible. Does that sound, yep, that's what I'm getting. I'm just going to keep it simple because we've got a few questions to get through. So what was the question? Is going to happen soon? Well, yeah, it feels like within a 6-month time frame. Linda, it's been a long time since we saw Linda. Where's she gone? She asks, is there a reason people are bypassing my shop for coffee in favour of the coffee at the barber's down the road? What's wrong with her coffee? Is there a reason? Is there a reason people are walking by? Linda, is your question? Linda. Is there a reason? It seems that there is a reason, actually. So let's unpack that. What is the reason that people are choosing to go up the road for coffee instead of enjoying your beautiful space? You know, there is a little bit of a loyalty thing going on there. People just get a little bit addicted to their particular coffee shop. Like I've pulled the devil card, which in this case, like the devil can often represent addictions and being chained to something. And it's our ego, which we can be if influenced by the familiar. Like people like to stay with what they know. And if there's a reason to change, it would have to be a pretty good reason that sort of ignited some spark in them. And I've got the Page of Wands, which would imply that is what is needed. So how can you encourage people? I'm getting a little bit of a 2 for the price of 1, being able to look at this as a bit of a different way of seeing things. If we're just focusing on making the money and selling the coffee, we will probably not attract that sort of good abundance energy back. However, if we focus on maybe making a month as a promo deal, like a PR campaign, whereby you actually don't necessarily make on the coffee, but you instead receive new clientele because of an incentive or a price or something, then you create oh, that sounds good. Like you ignite that, within your potential customers. Therefore, that would require a sign out the front that is very large that says what the deal is, 2 for 1 coffees or free muffin with your coffee or half price coffees between 9 and 10 or whatever. Just come up with a plan that really is exciting and fun for you to create. Therefore, you've got something to banter with your clientele on, and yeah, getting new business for new coffee when there's plenty of other coffee places around is actually about shifting the energy and getting people excited and inspired to try something new. People are stuck, they don't like change. And that's just, you need to give them reason to want to change. Now, we have another question here. Judith. Hi, Judith. Should she go with the current producer? I don't know if this is confidential or not because you have sent a direct message. So I'll just go, or should she look for another? We'll just say current producer or look for another rather than put you on the spot there. This is a business move. Is the current... Should she look for another producer? Judith. Nice to have you here, Judith. How exciting! Oh, hello. Good to see your face. Nice to meet you, actually.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
There's the current, a new one. That's a new one. The current one, current. These are the best ones. The current. Ooh. Yeah, I feel like the new one might have some good ideas. It's a bit more creative and inspired. I don't know if there is a new one or you're looking for, but somebody who is, what I've got here is the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. no, sorry, the Ace of Swords, and so this is like this is a new idea, new inspiration. This is a fresh start, and this is somebody who is a very creative, happy, vibrant, confident queen. That would be an ideal producer if they're on the cards looking like that. Somebody who can offer that inspiration and give a fresh perspective. Is that okay? Getting rid of someone else? Yeah.
That's right. I mean, it has to be done. She's not doing the right thing at this time, so.
Yeah.
This is just the current energy. I mean, if you could potentially offer that she comes up with that kind of level of energy, enthusiasm, passion, new ideas. Currently, with what's sitting there, it's feeling like a no for the current one. And the reason for that is it's just a bit slow and plodding along rather than inspired. And yeah,
that makes sense.
And like, is the new one going to be a man or a woman?
Feels like a woman because it's with the Queen of Wands. However, that could just be somebody who's in touch with their creativity and their feminine side. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. So good to have you both here. All right. We're going to dive into Naomi's question. Is this the last one? It is the last one. So tune in because this could be a goodie. Naomi. I'm making a big change in my life and I don't feel supported by my family. Instead of being celebrated, I feel like I'm a pain to them. What advice do you have about this? I feel heard. Yeah, it's always a bit shit when you don't feel supportive and you're making big changes, and changes intentionally obviously take a lot of guts. So I can feel your pain, Naomi. I can feel that you want to be recognized for your bravery, for your courage, for your unique way of doing things. And the question is, what advice do you have about this? Okay, let me just go into this a bit more clearly because I'm talking too much. Oh, do we want that card down there? Card falls out. No. The advice. You know, I've got the Hermit card, which is all about self-reflection, going within, or not just a self-reflect, well, it is reflection, but it is remembering your light inside and remembering that you are a soul seeker. And I've also dropped this card. I pulled this twice for you, the Ace of Swords, which is this obviously this new inspiration. And what's the advice? The advice is to just go within and allow yourself to do a bit of reflection on what that has stirred up for you. When you understand why you're feeling like, maybe in another day you wouldn't care as much if you didn't feel the support. You'd be so excited about things, but today you're feeling particularly unsupported, or whatever day it is. The message really is to, what's the advice? I'm actually getting two different feelings, like the cards are saying one thing in my, this is the advice. Thanks for your patience, guys. Sometimes yeah, okay. So there is two sides to this. That's why I'm going, I've got the cards are saying one thing, but I'm being pulled in another direction. So the Eight of Swords is actually all about the saying that says, wherever you go, there you are. So if you don't change the way you see things, it's always going to be the same circumstance no matter where you are. So can you change perspective on how you see or expect the reactions from your family? It feels a little bit like this card is in fact for them. They are just in their way of thinking about things, and when you have presented something that is of change, they I just want to double check this. Okay, twice now, yeah. Ideas, thoughts. Yeah, it's really just a matter of having such different ideas of life. And I get, on one level, it feels like that needs to be accepted rather than communicated. It's kind of, it's a bit of tough love, because I feel you holding on to your heart with wanting to be recognized for this, but it's not their page. It's not their understanding of how to do life as such. And that's where you might be more aspirational and excited, whereas they're a bit more formal and how you do things. And yeah, so I'm sorry to say, it's not an easy answer of, it's just going to be happy ever after. It's more of finding other ways to get your support, because this is not your main soulful tribe. Sometimes our friends are more of our family than actual family. Yeah, I'm hesitant to explain it, because obviously you can hear me sort of, because no one really likes to say to somebody, well, tough titties. But in a way, it's kind of like, well, hopefully this change is what instigates a whole new tribe into your world. Anywho, thanks for being here, everyone. It's been quite a collection of questions today and have run off a very busy day for me. So I do hope that you got clarity. If you haven't, please feel free to text me to get more clarification on what you need to hear right now for your highest good, so that you can move forward as a soulful human, not just somebody who's doing life on the human rat race lane, in the human rat race lane. So I really appreciate you. Thanks for being here. And I hope that you guys tune up next week, because it's really good to see new people, new faces. And we will rock and roll next week with something special, just to give you the incentive to be there as well. A little bit like Linda and her coffee. Sometimes we just need to offer some fresh ideas to keep it from going stale. So yeah, bye guys. Thank you. See you. My pleasure.